I mean, I go back to thinking about when women started wearing pants or were allowed to start wearing pants, which would have been in the 60s.
Without getting arrested.
Without getting arrested, exactly. I just thought that I could do it better. Specifically for women and for non-binary people. I didn't even know if there was a market for this, to be honest.
You make custom suits, jackets, pants, dresses?
Catherine will do dresses. I will not do dresses.
When you come and ask for Catherine. So someone comes in and they don't have a vision yet. Where do you start?
I asked them what their playlist looks like right now.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah.
You're watching Style as Identity. Meet the brands building from their vision, values, and vibes.
Hi, I'm Melissa Watson Ellis. I'm the owner and founder of Watson Ellis. We are a custom designer suit atelier in New York City.
And hi, I'm your host, Lola Catero of Style as Identity podcast, where we excavate and spotlight the designers and founders working to evolve our understanding of the style status quo, the brands building within their vision, values, and vibes. And Melissa, you are a designer and founder. The reason that I even know you today is because Erica, our producer over there, was getting her suit made for her wedding, and I was hanging around, and I feel like we fell in love at first sight. Like there was just a chemistry, and I was just locked into you and fell in love with your approach and process, and now we're here in the studio. It's so inspiring. But I feel like it was one of those things that afterwards I wasn't even like, should I maybe hang out? I was like, what's your number? Like this is the time for us to exchange. Yeah. And it was pretty similar to around the time when I knew I wanted to do new headshots for the podcast and for Majority Group, and I also was looking at old photographs that my grandfather Gaetano was taking of my grandmother, and she was just like expert seamstress that also worked in the sweatshops downtown, because that's kind of how it was, you know, so like great. You make presidential robes for their inauguration, but then you're also just
on the Lower East Side.
You're just downtown, yeah. So she had this like elegant maximalism where she's always had like at least 3 accessories on, but the way she looked, everything was so custom tailored to her body because she was making it. And then the suits Gaetano was wearing were just amazing. So these photographs, I had never seen them before. And around the time I met you, I was looking at just him in these just beautifully made suits. And I was like, oh, you know, like something's coming together here. And then I was also kind of listening to Men in Black, and, you know, like the album art, it's like Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, and they're in these black suits, and they're in service of others, but they're also serving. And I was like, I don't have a black suit. And then we came together, and it was such a collaboration for us.
You're right, like an immediate, we just got along and kind of were able to speak on a lot of different levels. Yeah. Your vision with your suit is, you know, was very much like a long process for you too. And I loved the Men in Black reference because it's a uniform, but it's not a uniform, it's a power suit too. You know, like they are like almost like mythical figures. I think that like collaboration or seeing the process and then kind of like marinating on your personal heritage and history and needing this power suit for yourself. You know?
What inspired you to start Watson Ellis?
I really think at the core of it is I feel passionate about non-binary clothing and gender neutral clothing. So, you know, and that goes in both directions. Like I feel passionate about menswear as a cis female. It was an evolution into that. I worked for fashion brands and I worked in women's wear, you know, and I you know, kind of like just made my way in the industry and worked for different fashion brands, from big ones to small ones to startups, and then to a men's custom tailoring company. And I just thought that I could do it better. Specifically for women and for non-binary people. I didn't even know if there was a market for this, to be honest. Like I wasn't sure that women and non-binary people wanted this service. but I also wanted to create more of a couture experience around custom bespoke suiting that really it is a couture experience. There are a lot of custom suiting companies out there, and they make really good decent suits, and they follow a template, and they follow a certain, because in menswear they've been doing, you've been doing this for men for 200 years. It has become kind of formulaic. And for more curvy and different body types, and new body types, and people that are they're changing their bodies, a formula doesn't work. So we had to create a new formula, a new process.
So when you were there, you saw almost at the intake, like the questions that they were asking the person to fulfill the formula. That was the part that you were like, this isn't really creating the output that could be created to fulfill this.
It wasn't even the questions, it was the fit, the knowledge around the human body was so male centric. Is so, like so many things, but especially in tailoring, and that makes sense, right? Because tailoring is inherently masculine. Tailored clothing is inherently
which
masculine.
I find so interesting, though, because a large part of your client base is also male.
Yes.
So you just do it better.
I think so. I think what we do better with the men is pushing their boundaries. So I think a lot of people go to a tailor and they just give them the same old. And what we do with our men is give them more option, more flexibility. We don't...
Like what?
Like, we don't necessarily say, this is the way it's done and you have to do it this way, or this is how, and really, like, style advice. We give a lot to our clients. We give a lot. We spend a lot of time. Just like when we made your suit, we did a lot of, like, research. We did a bespoke process. We made a muslin. We made a test garment. We made tweaks to that. So it was, more.
And this part I wasn't really aware of, and I'm still a novice at, but the difference between the terminology of custom versus bespoke, what are all these words, and what do they mean to you?
It's complicated. Custom is, I would say in tailoring, I don't want to use broad strokes for anything, but in tailoring, custom and made to measure is a certain category of suiting, which is custom, meaning you can choose the fabric and you can choose some of the design elements, and made to measure, meaning there are some fit tweaks that you can make to make it fit better, but maybe not necessarily perfect. And perfect is a dirty word. I don't even like saying perfect in general, in bespoke.
It's so dirty.
Anything. It's so dirty.
It's so dirty. It's naughty. It's naughty.
It's naughty.
It's a naughty word.
It's a naughty word. Bespoke is a longer process, and it's like couture. It's all handmade usually. You have a process of making test garments before you go to the final garment. So you do toile or muslin fittings. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3 until you get it right. And then you cut the final garment. And then maybe you'll do final tweaks to the final garment because the muslin is a different fabric than the final fabric.
Right. So you're more on the couture side.
We do a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as well as design options or just design in general, we will sometimes just have a client come in and sketch something based off of multiple sources of inspiration that they've brought in. Again, this goes back to you.
If not all of them want a Men in Black suit.
Yes. and not just Men in Black, but like jewelry they want to wear with it, or imagery from the past. Or we had this guy recently come in, and he wanted a suit that was like inspired by, it was very structured on the top. It was inspired by Japanese design, but also like anime. in a way.
Cool.
So he wanted these almost like these and he was very slim and tall.
Yeah.
And he wanted these balloon big pants and then this cropped, very structured jacket with no collar and like very all in black, like like had this vision and obviously he's not a designer, so we have to work together to like make this vision. And some people come in with very specific ideas like that and some don't, and we have to, you know, craft something that's going to work for their body and achieve their vision ultimately. So we're kind of like suit horoscope readers in a way.
And then, so how many, thinking about like the use case, how many people come in that have a specific event in mind that they want to do, or they are like, maybe their body is shifted, or maybe they just like something has changed where they're like, oh, I want to have this in my life, and they come just to have a custom garment.
A lot of event-based things, whether they are going to a wedding or just life events, like they're like, I'm going to a black tie gala for the first time in my life. I really want this special garment to fit. Also, people that just like don't, specifically women that just don't resonate with wearing dresses. They just don't, you know, and tailoring something is, or suits in general that don't fit, it's very obvious. So getting a custom tailored suit or a bespoke tailored suit, it really makes a huge leap in your whole wardrobe, I would say.
Yeah. It kind of makes me think about the spectrum a bit of like the words we use of like, suits are a historically male thing, and it's like, does it make us less feminine to be wearing suits, or have we just been told that it's less feminine? You know, it's kind of that like, I don't know, a lot of stuff I think about and never have any answers for, but a question.
I mean, I go back to thinking about when women started wearing pants, or were allowed to start wearing pants, which would have been in the 60s. Without getting arrested, exactly. And then I think is the evolution of the two pieces, right? Of the top, the women being able to wear a top and a bottom, not just at home cleaning, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I feel like the masculinity came into women's wear, and masculinity, like, it's all relative, right? It's all social constructs anyway. But
you make custom suits, jackets, pants, dresses.
Catherine will do dresses. I will not do dresses.
When you come and ask for Catherine.
When you come ask for Catherine. Please.
But so you've developed this expert eye, not only the 7 years Watson Ellis has been around, but your whole career. What are some things that catch your eye that like make you, when you see that someone had a custom suit, but maybe someone cut some corners?
Yeah. I feel it viscerally when you say that. Like, I feel it like, ooh.
Something, you have something like in your head that you're like, this is when it happens.
Yeah. But again, this is personal, so please don't like hate me for saying this. But I hate when sleeves are too tight. I hate it. And I also hate when shoulders are too narrow. Now, I understand why some people might have some hang-ups about their shoulders being broader than the average person, but I do feel that a strong shoulder frames the body. And that is my, like, if you fit with me, that is almost my, like, non-compromising thing, is I don't want to make the shoulders narrower than your shoulders. Some people want that because they feel like their shoulders are too broad, and it's a personal thing. But I feel like it frames the body, and it also makes you look slimmer, if that's your goal, to have your shoulders a little bit wider than your waist and your hips.
Got it. And what about these biceps, these bulging biceps?
Oh my goodness. I feel like a lot of sports announcers and what you see in that realm of suiting is they make the sleeves really tight, and the shoulder's quite narrow.
Like the Sporty Spice bros, their biceps are usually bulging out of their suits.
Yeah.
Why don't they fix this?
I don't know. I think it's something, listen, and it's trends. It's trends in fashion too. And again, it's subjective.
But so do you think it's an aesthetic choice because they want to showcase that they do have muscles, or do you think it's a part on the tailor where it's like maybe because they are so strong, it should be wider around that part of their arm?
I think it should be.
You think it should be?
I think it should be.
Do you think it's being offered?
I think that they've been going to the same tailor for years and years and years. And I will say 10 years ago, the skinny suit, 10, even maybe more now, the skinny suit was really in. Like, think of Suit Supply and Indochino and that kind of thing. Like, that, like, skinny, like, you could see your calf bulging, you know, when you were walking down the street. Like, that skinny suit was really in.
Yeah.
And fashion has changed. It always is changing. It changes slower for men. But I think that was in, and maybe they're just kind of stuck in that that story, and that and maybe they like it, and then who am I to fault them?
Right.
Like,
I mean, if I had muscles that big, maybe I also would be doing that. Until you walk a mile in a biceps that big, then for real. Okay, so when you create though, you don't use factory lines. You go to one single master tailor. And so what are the trade-offs and benefits of doing a process like that?
Yes. So we use a workshop, I like to call it, of master tailors. There's 12 master tailors in the workshop. And what that means is an handmade bespoke. What that means is that the person that cuts the fabric out of your pattern, they also assemble the garment. So it's a level of control, and also having the same hands do it. So when you're sewing something, there's in tailoring, there's a lot of hand sewing. There's not a lot of machine sewing. So there's this thing called tension. So you have tension in the thread, and you want the same person to do it, because then you'll have the same level of tension throughout the whole garment, rather than it being like one person does the sleeve, another person sets in the lining, another person is doing the pockets, and then you have all these different tensions going on. It's almost like a conversation. It's like a conversation of like 10 people that you're trying to smoosh together, and the frequencies are all different.
Right.
So I like it for that reason. And also it's just traditional, and it also gives a person opportunity to become an expert at something, rather than just being able to sew a sleeve. Which I think is important to keeping the craft alive, and keeping keeping what we do alive, is having someone that knows how to do it from start to end.
Right. So in terms of handmade custom, you've referenced this as being like the gold standard. Like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
So it means handmade versus machine made. So there are some seams in a suit that, like the long pant seam, that you do sew on a sewing machine. But in suit factories, a lot of the stuff that normally was done by hand, the setting in of the lining, the canvassing on the inside structure of the suit, the armhole is all set in by hand, meaning it is literally stitched by hand, rather than being put through a machine to do it. Again, it's a tension issue. It's when you do it by hand, you have these master tailors that do it, and so they're able to create this floating canvas that actually molds to your body over time. If it's set in by a machine, it has one tension all throughout, and you won't notice it initially, but in 5 years you'll notice it.
And so they're setting the tension based on like where it is on.
It's magic.
Wow.
It's really magic. They will adjust the tension from the shoulder to the chest to below the chest.
Wow.
Yeah. And then some of the important seams to finish by hand are the armhole, the back neck. These where everything converges are really complicated areas of the suit. So finishing the by hand make it movement better and allows it again to like basically mold to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone comes in and they don't have a vision yet. Where do you start?
I ask them what their playlist looks like right now.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah.
And what are some of the answers you get?
Oh, I mean, it like people are usually pretty off put by that, and they have to go to their phone and be like, "What have I've been listening to?" But I mean, it's all over the place, from like classic rock to like hip hop to. But no, if they don't have an idea, I assess what I'm looking at. I ask what the purpose is for this suit. We do like a color analysis in here for sure. I'm pretty sensitive to color, so I look at them and I kind of assess what I think would be best on their features.
So you start with color.
Usually color is really important.
Yeah.
And also ask them like how masculine and how feminine they want to present, because it is that will determine the fabric that we go with, how flowy or how structured. That determines where I go for the fabric, or what the purpose, what the event is for, and where they will be wearing it, because temperature, seasonality, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten a song from the playlist that you were like, I don't know what to do with that?
I definitely have gotten songs that are like very modern that I haven't heard of yet, because I'm old now.
Yeah. I love that though. They're coming in to get their, fitted.
Yeah. Like lots of there are like college kids that are like graduating from college and going into their first job in tech.
And they're wearing suits?
No, that they are.
Wow.
They are.
I learned something today.
I mean, not the traditional mask.
Yeah.
People, but more of the non-binary people that are going into tech, I would say.
Yeah. Sick. I love that.
Yeah.
I was when I was going to tech, I went to J. Crew because I was like, this is where people shop, and it's like pick a color and here's the cardigan.
Yeah.
And then I got reprimanded at work because the yellow I picked was too loud. So not only was I going to a store I didn't feel seen in, but I tried to use color as a way to just do what I could with what I'm working with, and they were like, sorry. And then I was like, but we're working with guys in hoodies, and like people, they don't wash their feet and they're wearing flip-flops, but then it was like one of the flags that is a reminder of like, oh, like you're not in the right place for you, like finally enough of that happens. And luckily enough, after a while I was like, okay, let me wiggle my way out of here. I
can't believe that they would comment on your clothing.
So you're working in ready to wear, made to measure, and now you're working in the most slow fashion, intentional business. And what are the benefits and trade-offs to the end wearer, to your clients for that? Well,
I feel like the benefits of having something made for your body is unparalleled. I don't know if you experience that when you put on especially a pair of pants. Man, a pair of pants,
oh my God,
is like that's made for you. I mean, you'll never look better. You'll never really, and it'll highlight all the right angles and so I do feel like having something fit for your body, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be super fitted.
Right.
And
my experience with putting on the pants you made me is it's like such a manifestation of truly feeling seen.
Oh,
right?
So
I mean, how could it, like, when it's really made, it was made for me, right? Yeah. Like, nobody else could wear these and feel the same thing I would feel in them.
Yeah.
And, like, that's the greatest gift.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Downfalls? I mean, it takes a long time. You can't just go hop in a store and get it. And even sometimes for some people, like, it takes multiple trial and errors to get it right. Like, it is an investment in your time as well as our time. But I think maybe just for some people, and like, listen, I want to be so forthright about this because maybe for some people it's just not, it's just too much work for them.
Right.
I do love to believe that once you have the piece and you're wearing it, that you're like, oh, it was all worth it. And I would say it does get easier after the first piece.
What I love about what you're saying, though, is you're not like, hey, like, we'll try to rush this or do that. You're like, this is the process. If this isn't for you, then, like, that's okay. We don't have to work together.
Yeah.
And so not trying to change the process that delivers the best quality garment for the person is what
no
makes
one's
you
happy.
you. Yeah.
You know, ultimately.
Yeah. Right. What is the legacy you want Watson Ellis to leave?
Oh my God.
No pressure.
That's
no pressure.
I guess the legacy would be, I kind of want to just like
Go for it.
Bring women into suiting. Like, I don't want to focus fully on women, but I do, like, I want to make this a tradition, not only for one gender. I want to make it a tradition for everyone. That this is something that because when I first started this business, I wasn't sure that women wanted this. Now I know that they do. And non-binary people and the rest. Yeah, I would like to make it the same type of tradition that men have had for 200 years.
You want us to stop making headlines because we wore a suit?
Yeah.
I love the idea of expanding the notion of tradition in suiting.
Yeah, exactly. But that is so right. I mean, not to like quote you now that like, but we shouldn't like, it shouldn't be like a revelation.
Yeah.
Or it shouldn't be a revelation for a man to wear a skirt.
Right.
Who gets to partake in tailored clothing? Like, because I'm not making flowy dresses, So like anything tailored, who gets to participate in getting that? In the history, men have always known this is an option for them. It always has been an option for them. I think it should be part of a tradition that all people partake in and know that it is an option for them.
Hey everybody, Lola here. Thanks for listening. Style as Identity is part of the Majority Group, which is focused on spotlighting and supporting the brands that make us feel seen. In addition to this podcast, we offer business and strategy advice to brands, have an investment arm, and more. Basically, we want to see you win and do what we can to make it happen. For more info on us, head to themajoritygroup.com. Love ya.